Hey all, Hayden here. Welcome to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about some of the latest issues that I've been having with sales decreasing on my Amazon account and sales increasing on certain items, but sales generally just dropping off on some of my well-known products. So in this video, I want to talk about my experience of this sales dropping off and how I am trying to cope with it and how I'm going to deal with it moving forward. Sort of the lessons that I've learned, because if it hasn't happened to you yet, it will happen to you later on. So, you know, you get yourself into a situation where you think that you found a great replenishable item, you're selling it for a couple of weeks, you're slowly increasing the order of the items that you're buying from your supplier, retailer, wholesaler, wherever you're getting it from. You're sending it to Amazon. All of a sudden, just when you increase your order that little bit too much, guess what happens? The items stop selling. Now, this could be for a multitude of reasons. Obviously, firstly, it could be because of Amazon popping on the listing, or it could be because someone's undercut you on the price and maybe they've got it from a wholesaler. Or sometimes, like I've recently experienced, it's nothing to do with the individual listing itself. It's to do with other listings. So let me just explain what I mean by all this, okay? So quick run over of me, for those of you who do not know. I've been selling for about 9-ish months on Amazon now. I now fully focus on just building a replenishables list and just replenning all of my good selling items. I don't have VAs, you know, I get deals from some deal sheets, but I don't have VAs. Generally, I manually source myself and just training my sister up to do so. I've done plus £15,000 worth of sales in the last 30 days. I think we're about 17,000 now. And things are increasing, and I was really happy with progress, and I still am. However, some of the listings that I'm heading on to, that I've got my replenishables on, as I mentioned, sales are suddenly dropping for a random amount of reasons, okay? So let me just explain let me explain what's happening, what I've realised is happening, and how I'm getting around it. So upon some of the listings that I looked at, my good selling items that have been selling 5, 10, 15, 20 units every single day solidly for the last sort of month, 2 months, 3 months, I've got some really good replen items, or I did have, and hopefully I do still have. I couldn't work out what went wrong. I couldn't work out why these items suddenly stopped selling. There was no issue in the keeper graph in the history. Amazon hadn't come on. No one was undercutting me. I still hold the buy box on most of the items most of the time. And I was really confused, baffled, actually. Upon doing further research, I actually typed the title of these items into the Amazon search bar. Upon typing these items in, I found the issue. I found the main problem as to why my listings had stopped selling. One of the items was now being sold in a multi-pack on a different listing by Amazon. They were selling a pack of 3 for double the price I was selling, 1 pack for. So you were essentially getting 3 for 2. That's where them sales had gone. The next item that I was selling, Amazon was also on another listing of that, and they had brought out a new item, and they were selling it for half the price that my specific item was. They were selling it at half the price on a different listing, and that different listing was ranking higher than my one, and that meant that they were taking all the sales when these customers typed in the search bar for that specific product. So that is the lesson I learned, and what I'm going to do going forwards to get past this issue of buying loads and loads of stock from a good selling item and then all of a sudden it just stops. What I'm going to do moving forwards is always check by typing in the product title onto Amazon, rather than just looking at that individual product's history, where the price is, etc. Obviously that's important, but what I didn't realise that it's also important to do a random search into the Amazon catalogue, if you like, and just find out your competition. because what you don't want to happen is you to test and test and test these items, then all of a sudden a new product line ranks higher than you on Amazon. All them keywords that are getting to your item are now going to a different item before you. So that will take away a lot of sales. And that was a big lesson that I learned this week. So, as I mentioned, to get around this, I'm going to be obviously doing my research more in depth before I purchase these random items. But what I'm also going to be doing is actually testing my items for longer. See, in the past, what I've done is bought lots of items, tested them, tested a slightly higher quantity, say 50 the next time, and then I've tested higher, say 70, and then I've tested higher, say 90, and they've all been selling. And then all of a sudden, bang, as I mentioned for the above reasons, the listing just stopped selling. Not completely, but as much. And it may come back, but at the moment, obviously, me increasing my final order that then didn't sell as well has just taken away all the profit I've made from the prior items. So what I'm going to be doing moving forwards is making sure that I test for longer in smaller quantities, because obviously it's a fine line between you missing out on sales or you getting stuck with stock that you can't shift. So what I'm going to be doing personally is just holding fire, testing, say, 20, maybe 30 max at a time after I've pre-tested, 2, 5, 10, right? I'm not telling anyone that's new to go out and buy 30 of one item, certainly not, because I've made mistakes doing that. But that's the maximum I'm probably going to buy from now on. And if I go out of stock and I miss some sales, fine. I'd rather that than me getting stuck with 2, 3, 4, 500 items of one item. Now, there is times, obviously, where I am going to go deep, but generally, I'm going to test and test and test for a long time and keep checking back the search page on Amazon for competitive listings coming in by Amazon and other sellers, and then obviously go from there, keep checking. Once I've got that data built up for probably 6 months to a year, that's when I'm probably going to pull the trigger and go a bit deeper. Maybe also at that stage, try and find the source of that item and then just buy out the stock. So that cuts out any other competition, means that I can effectively hold that stock for that whole listing rather than having to share it with other sellers. So I hope that video's helped. That was my experience recently. Obviously, it's frustrating me, but you've just got to think of it as a learning curve. That's what I'm doing. It's only going to make me stronger. It's going to make us stronger. I can share this stuff with you so that you don't make these mistakes. And I hope that video's helped. As always, just obviously chuck in the comments below. Oh, where are we? Chuck the comments below. Some requests of videos if you've got any ideas. And I'll be happy to cover them as best I can.